What is your 2024 for? Pag-usapan natin yan in this new Trying Hard podcast episode. Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Trying Hard with Lyqa podcast. I know, you've been asking for it. Medyo nag-break tayo nung holidays. And the reason why I haven't had a new episode since December was kasi naningil yung katawan ko. Like, yun talaga yung dahilan. Um, Christmas, well, right before Christmas hanggang after New Year's, I was sick. So I caught the flu that was going around, and it took longer than I expected for me to get my voice back and to, I guess, feel better. Well enough to create new content. And honestly, medyo makati-kati pa rin yung lalamunan ko. Pero I figured we should really talk about this kasi marami na rin nagme-message sa akin, marami nagtatanong, and I think medyo long overdue na siya. So, looking at the title of this episode, diba, what's your year for? Or what's your 2024 for? This is more of a guide, I guess, for those of you who are still figuring out ano mang gagawin ko dito sa taon na ito. Like, ano tong conversations around having a theme of the year, a word for the year, vision boards, manifesting stuff, New Year's resolutions, and other things like that related to planning. Kasi alam ko maraming eager na gumawa ng plano. Some of you even bought the Trying Hard planner, but some people don't know how to use it or don't know what to do with it. So ano ba yung mga pwedeng options when it comes to planning for the year? Now, I'm going to share some of my thoughts, and I also want to preface this by saying now we have an earlier episode on resolutions and writing your resolutions. So, hanapin nyo na lang yan if you're really into that and you want to kind of figure out why resolutions don't work or how do I frame this para maging mas effective siya sa akin. But we're going to talk about a few P's that could get you started sa journey na ito. Kasi, I guess the hardest question talaga for a lot of people is, what do I truly want sa taon na ito? What do I really want to accomplish? Anong gagawin ko? And one of you was actually honest enough to ask that Na parang, wala po akong maisip na iplano, wala akong maisip na isulat, na gawin this year. Anong gagawin ko? And I answered that person saying na if you can't think of something to do, think of who you want to be. And then from yung answer mo doon sa who you want to be, a character trait, an ability, personality aspect no na gusto mong i-improve, doon ka nakukuha ng ipaplano mo. So that was a very short answer to that question, but in this episode hihimayin pa natin 'yan. So if you're interested in deeper dives sa mga ganitong klaseng conversations, go ahead and follow this podcast if you haven't yet. Thank you so much for having us be part of your 2023. Sa lahat ng mga nagtatag sa akin sa inyong Spotify Wrapped, nakasama ito sa top podcasts nyo this year. Maraming salamat. We really grew the community last year, and I'm hoping that we still have great conversations this year. And now, bakit hindi ko sinabi na growth this year? Pag-uusapan din natin yan mamaya. So let's start with 6 P's. Okay, na pwede ninyong pag-isipan in thinking about your plan for this year or thinking about anong gagawin ninyo sa taon na ito. Now, I wrote a few things. The first thing I wrote is a peg. So, think of a peg. Pag sinabi nating peg, di ba, yung sa common language, ang ibig sabihin yan yung a person or maybe a character even, kahit fictional character, na gusto mong maging katulad nila. And some of you, I'm honored na you would say sometimes sa DM, sometimes sa stories or comments ninyo na, Ate Likes, I want to be like you when I grow up, how to be you, mga ganun, may episode din tayo about that. But that's an example of that, no? Although I always tell you na don't try to be me, be better than me. But that's the idea of the peg. Sino yung gusto mong maging katulad? And sino yung gusto mong maging katulad sa certain aspects then? Pwedeng maybe yung person in your class that's the most diligent or gets the highest grades, whatever that may be for you na gusto mong mangyari this year. So yung peg mo, yung person that you want to be like this year. And again, pwede siyang fictional character. If you read stuff and you notice na, okay, this person, for example, no, balik tayo sa Hunger Games kasi bumalik naman yung Hunger Games because of the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. You have someone like Katniss Everdeen. Na, okay, si Katniss kasi, whether gusto niya o hindi, meron siyang certain level ng duty. Parang gano'n. Parang, if things need to get done, I'll do it. So if you want to be someone like that, if you want to be someone like, you know, the lead character, for example, sa Firefly. I would just watch that movie if you haven't yet. Pwede pa yata sa cinemas ngayon. MMFF entry siya. Directed by Zig Dulay. The boy there, meron siyang theme about courage. So if you want to explore being a more courageous person this year, even if you have fears, then you can also use that person as a peg. So, yun, yung isa sa mga parang prompts when it comes to writing your plans for this year or writing your resolution. Yun yung first natin. Peg. Hanap kayo ng peg. Okay? Now, the second na P is person. Now, yung person na to, iba siya sa peg kasi yung person, hindi na siya exactly who you want to be, but who you want your year to be for. I'm putting this here because we're Filipinos. And one thing I noticed sa lahat ng mga motivational talks that I've given over the years, and I honestly don't know how many I've done, na, lalo na during the pandemic and after the pandemic. Pero people, lalo na Filipino people, we do things for other people. So when asked what's your 2024 for, if it's for a person, like I want to use this year to inspire maybe a younger brother, younger sister to make good choices in life, you can dedicate this year to them. If you have maybe a parent or a grandparent, someone who has devoted a lot of time or invested a lot of time and energy and belief in you and you want this year to be for them, you can also do that. Diba? Even if we've had conversations around, setting boundaries sa mga tao and, choosing the circles you belong in, I recognize that there are some of you who have really meaningful people in your life that you really want to make them proud of you. No? So, pwede pa rin naman yun. Binubuksan ko yung pinto for that. Your 2024 may be for someone, for a person in your life. Dito ko rin sasabihin na it could be for yourself as well. If this is the year you're going to dedicate to yourself, pag sitanong kita, what's your 2024 for? My 2024, 2024 is for me. That's perfectly fine. Pero, bakit? Anong ibig sabihin yan? Yun yung pag-uusapan natin. If this year is for you, ano yung ibig sabihin ng taon ko to para sa'yo? Yun din yung mga kailangan natin pag-usapan dyan. Does that mean prioritizing yourself when it comes to self-care? Prioritizing your needs? Communicating your needs? Pwede rin yun. So, you can again dedicate the year to a person. And ang maganda kasi dito is, the choices that we make sa buong taon, babanggain na natin siya doon sa mga pipiliin natin ngayon. So, babanggain mo siya doon sa peg mo. Like, is this what this person would do? Is this what this person would have done kung nasa position ko siya? And if meron kayong person you're doing the year for, is this the kind of choice that this person would want me to make? Diba? Makakabuti ba siya sa akin? Makakabuti pa to sa kapatid ko? Makakabuti pa to sa parents ko? Makakabuti pa ito dun sa person inspiring me? No? So, yun na. Doon na nahihinog, kumbaga, yung ating mga plano for the year. Now, the third P is yung sinasabi ko kanina, personality trait. Like, if you want to dedicate this year to improving a certain aspect of who you are, if you want to be more outgoing, di ba? Kahit na alam ko, kahit na hindi ako nagpa-survey in 2023, but in the early years of the Trying Hard podcast community on Facebook, most of you are introverts according to the survey. Pero hindi naman kasi ibig sabihin na introverts tayo, hindi na tayo pwedeng maging mas outgoing kahit papano. Or hindi tayo pwedeng matuto to behave in public or to befriend people or to push ourselves to grow into a more open individual. Gusto nating ma-up yung social skills natin, pwede rin yun. So, think of an aspect sa iyong personality that you want to work on. If you want to be more confident, do you want to be more more daring in certain aspects? Do you want to be more independent? Do you want to be more at ease sa iyong personality, sa iyong pagkatao? Think of a personality trait, an aspect na gusto mong i-improve this year. And then, that would be what your 2024 is for. So that's another P. So may tatlo na tayo, no? Now, the fourth is purpose. Now, again, this is a hard ask for people who are not yet at that stage na hindi ka pa confident about your purpose in life. Hindi naman kailangan kasi na set in stone na yan. Pero for 2024, if you have a certain purpose talaga, especially for those of you who are graduating, who are going to take a huge step in their career, in their education, kung mag-take kayo ng UPCAT, mag-take kayo ng college entrance tests, board exam, di ba? Your year may be for a certain purpose. And I'm saying that kasi that's kind of what happened to me last year, 2023. My purpose last year was really to survive the let. Pumasa sa let. So, purpose talaga, purpose-driven, kumbaga, yung aking 2023. A lot of the choices I made revolved around that. So, sacrifices I also made were based on that, na ma-enable ako to take the let and pass the let. So, now that that is done, pwede na ako mag-move forward to other things in 2024. So, if you have a purpose for 2023, like meron talaga siyang timeline, that could be a way for you to open itong door na to ng asking questions, what is my year for? Okay? So meron tayong apat, peg, person, personality, purpose. Next would be plan. Ang plan is different sa purpose in that ang purpose kasi is more of parang ano yung gusto mong ma-accomplish or ano yung dahilan behind it, behind some of the choices you're going to make. Pero ang plan is more of yung mga steps, kumbaga. Meron ka talagang plano itong taon na to. Meron kang business that you want to build, di ba? Meron kang project na you want to complete. Yun, ganun talaga siya. As in, meron kang plano for the year. Ma-accomplish mo siya. So, you can also frame it like that. Ano ang plano ko? May plano talaga ako na gawin this year na tapusin na i-check sa aking to-do list. So, that could be that. And then, if actually, kung meron kang purpose, pwede na yung ma-turn into a plan. Diba? For example, sa akin, purpose ko is to, again, accomplish na yung pagiging LPT in 2023. Plan ko is to finish my CPE and then to take the let. Tapos pwede na siya rin na mas mababaw pa doon or mas simple pa doon, which is project. So, project-based na. So, per SEM, meron akong project, which is yung matapos yung SEM na yun. Matapos yung requirements ko sa subjects na yun. Yun na yung projects ko for the year. So, these are just some ideas to get you started dun sa pag-ask ng sarili mo, what is my 2024 for? Is it going to be dedicated to, pursuing a peg, being a type of person, or doing it for certain people, improving aspects of your personality, having a purpose, a plan, a project? Now, hopefully, dun sa 6 na P na yun, meron ka nang napili na, okay, parang this is resonating with me. May parang naisip akong idea na pwede kong hinugin dito sa conversation na ito. Now, once you have that, yan ay actually simula pa lang. And pag-uusapan natin yung next half nitong ating planning session after the break. So, siya yung bumibili ng planner, taon-taon kasi New Year, New You. Oo. Pero hindi niya naman sinusulatan. Kasi daw pangit yung sulat niya, sayang yung papel. Tapos minsan, January, okay pa, sinusulatan niya, ginagamit niya. February, okay pa. Tapos susunod niyang bubuksan, September na. Ganun ka rin ba? Ako rin kasi, kaya nga gumawa ko ng sarili kong planner. Ito ang planner na para sa mga try-hard, kagaya ko. At dahil hindi nakakahiya maging trying hard, mas nakakahiya to not try at all, nilagay na natin sa cover mismo. This planner is undated, kaya pwede mo simulan gamitin kahit kailan. At kung makakalimutan gamitin pwede mong gamitin ulit. Walang masasayang na papel. But I should warn you, this planner is not for everyone. Parang yung podcast natin. Others may look at it and say it's too much or it's too messy. Pero I made these choices para hindi kayo mahiyang gamitin. This is the kind of planner you can use and abuse. Aside from the monthly spread, weekly spread, at yung task list, meron din siyang mga activity sheets that you can use sa inyong journey sa personal development. At kung ready ka na bumili para sa'yo o para panregalo, you can go to bit.ly/tryinghard planner. And for the first 100 orders hanggang November 30, I will also include a dedication kung gusto nyo lang naman. You just let us know dun sa notes kung kaninong pangalan ang isusulat. Now, I always tell you to dream big, work hard, and start now. This planner right here is actually one of my big dreams, so thank you all for making it come true. Alright, welcome back. So now na meron na tayong prompt. So yun yung unang part eh. The prompt. So we have the 6 P's, peg, person, personality, purpose, plan, project. May pegs, may mga prompts na tayo, may ideas na hopefully na simulan sa inyong utak. Etong next half, we're going to focus on how do I frame that? How do I build on that idea? And in order for me to share how to do it, I'm going to walk you through my own process. Okay? Now, I always start with an evaluation of where I am. So, nasa na ba ako sa estado sa buhay? Ano yung nangyari last year? Ano yung mga things na magbibigay sa akin ng clue sa kung saan na mag-shift yung attention ko or focus ko for the next year. And sa akin, since na-accomplish ko na yung goal, which is to pass the let, and to really open up that door of possibilities for myself and my team and what I do, my advocacy, no, marami na pwedeng mangyari this year. And the question now becomes, from what do you want, di ba? Yun nga, what do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want this year to be about? Who do you want this year to be about? After you ask that question, the next question is, okay, now what can I do to get that? What do I do? What are the steps I could take to accomplish that or to make it happen? So ano ibig sabihin nito? If your 2024 is for a peg, as in I want to be more like this person, okay, what can I do to be more like that person? Do I look at what they do and try to emulate that and try to improve that? If I want to be safe, like a certain, ito, example lang to ha. If I want to be like my classmate who does really well in school, what can I do to be like them? So I would look at what they do, look at their study habits, maybe even join them sa study sessions, and then kind of copy or and improve on ano yung ginagawa nila. If I see them studying sa library and people ask me to hang out instead, okay, I'll make this choice na for every hour this person spends in the library, I do the same thing. That could be, again, the steps that you take to get to that person that you're being more like your peg. Diba? Ano yung mga choices na ginagawa nila, ano yung mga behavior nila, study habits nila, and get to know what goes on behind the scenes for them to be that person. Now, if you want this year naman to be for a person, diba? If you want this year to help you inspire a younger brother, a younger sibling na siguro tinatamad mag-aral, ayaw na pumasok, ganyan-ganyan, and you want to be a better person for that person, okay, anong aspekto, anong pwede kong gawin para maging example para sa kanila? I-breakdown ko ngayon yon. I probably would show them what I'm doing, encourage them to come with me. Diba? Uy, halika, aral tayo. O sige, ganito. Pag nakascore ka ng mataas, ilibre ka ni ate. Labas tayo. Kung anong gusto mong gawin. Like that could be your plan of attack for this next year. So, doon na nga iikot yon doon sa, okay, ito yung gusto ko. Now, paano ko makukuha yung gusto ko? Gusto ko magkaroon ng mas maraming confidence this year. Okay, paano ako magiging mas confident? Well, dadaanin ko yan sa preparation. Kung kailangan kong manood ng mga countless hours ng YouTube videos para mag-improve ako sa language, mag-improve ako sa communications, gagawin ko. Kailangan ko mag-yes sa opportunities. I need to put myself out there. So kapag linggo ng wika, English week, mag-volunteer na ako. Like these are small steps that could get you to that point na ma-accomplish mo yung plano mo for this year. Now, why am I saying that you need to do this? Kasi a lot of people write stuff or plan stuff at the beginning of the year. Kaya nga again, medyo poetic din na late tayo ngayon. Kasi I'm thinking baka meron na rin kayong mga nasulat, baka pwede nyo pa itong i-revisit. Madaling magsulat, magplano na mga gusto mong gawin. Pero the real question, not just in New Year's resolutions or in your yearly planning, are you willing to do what it takes to get to that point? Alam nyo, ideas are cheap. Plans are cheap. Yung mga, iba na to, iba, new year, new me. Andali niyan i-tweet, andali niyan isulat, andali niyan sabihin. Pero once people really dig deep, once they encounter yung nakasanayan ng katawan last year, dun mo malalaman if they really want it enough. So, I need you to think not just of what you want to do or who you want to be, but how do I get to that point? Kasi kung hindi, this will just be another year of frustration. na may gusto kang gawin, may gusto kang maging, like a 2.0, like a 4.0, ganyan. Pero wala ka namang binabago. At dahil wala kang binabagong small things, hindi magbabago yung buong plano mo for 2024. So again, ask yourself, what do you want? Sagot na hopefully meron na tayong idea. Pero ask yourself then, what can I do to be that person, to get that accomplishment, to accomplish that goal, to really be that person I want to be? I-break down niya yan. So now, I'm going to share my own things that I wrote for 2024. I didn't do this for 2023 kasi secret nga yung aking paglilet. Pero for this year, it was really ripe sa akin kahit towards the end of 2023 that my year is going to be different in that I will focus on more important things. It's more of the realization I'm at a certain age that ang energy ko ay limited and could only be allocated to certain things. Hindi ko na kayang gawin yung mga ginagawa ko dati na, alam niyo yun, lahat-lahat, buong araw akong tatrabaho, hindi na physically able ng katawan ko. Nagbe-breakdown siya. And the reminder sa akin yung fact that I got sick throughout the holidays. So, ang aking choice this year. So, what's your 2024 for? Ang sagot ko dun is this. My 2024 is for depth over breadth. Ano ibig sabihin dun? This is the year I'm going to dig deep. I'm going to place roots. And in many ways yan. For example, one of the biggest projects for me and my team this year is getting this property. Kasi we need to really gather our resources so we could stay here for I guess foreseeable future. So that is one way I'm choosing depth over breadth. So again, digging deep, planting roots. Depth then in the way that I build friendships. So it's not more of saying hi to multiple people and gathering people. Kasi throughout the years naman I've been like pretty okay with that. This year, I don't want to just be on a say hi hello na relationship with people that are important to me. I want to spend more time with them, to really be invested in their lives, to have conversations that are deep, which we usually have naman, pero I want to facilitate those conversations. Kasi last year, hindi ako masyado nakapag-spend time with friends kasi nag-aaral nga ako. So depth when it comes to relationships and conversations. Depth then over breadth when it comes to community building. So when it comes to you guys, sa tryhards, sa Team Lyqa, all of these communities that I have, it's no longer about like posting things so that more people watch it. Like it's never been about that naman. Mako-call out na naman ako nila Chris niyan. Hi Chris. Pero I want it to be more of, okay, let's talk about real stuff. Let's dig deep. Let's really pay more attention to the things that matter. Not the ones that matter to more people, not the ones that matter right now, but the things that really are meaningful. And yun yung gusto kong mangyari. Depth over breadth. And if that means that some of the outliers, some of these pet projects that I have on the side ay hindi ko mabibigyan ng atensyon or mapagtutuunan ng pansin, okay lang sa akin. Kasi the one thing I wrote under that, which is what can I do to get to that point that this year is going to be about depth, not breadth. Ang nilagay ko na plan of attack ko is to do less so I can do more. And what that means for me is saying no still to more things, to things that don't really align with the goals that I have for 2024. Spending less time with people that don't align with my values. Kasi I really need to cultivate the relationships that I have, the friendships that I have, the partnerships I have with those that are aligned with like the work I want to do or who I want to be. So it's really do less so I can do more. Yun yung aking kumaga war cry this year. And breaking that down even further, I wrote that ito yung promise ko. This is what I will do. In order to do less, so I can do more, and in order to have depth over breadth, what I'm going to do this year is make good choices. Yun yung aking mantra for this year. And I've been saying that again and again. Make good choices. And may kasunod pa yon, which is no matter how small, no matter how difficult, I will make good choices. And the beauty of this, na you're breaking it down into these statements, asking yourself, what does that mean? Di ba? What does this plan mean? What does this goal mean? Anong pwede kong gawin? Anong pwede kong mantra? Anong pwede kong ah, panghawakan sa decision-making process ko? Ang beauty nun is you carry it with you every day. So, let me give you an example. Sa health, for example, no? So many people, and I'm not diminishing the struggle, ha. I understand that there are people who are struggling with real eating disorders and stuff like that. And ako sa buhay ko, kahit nung, which is odd, sa totoo lang, pag binabalikan ko yung mga pictures ko nung bata ako, ang payat-payat ko, why was I made to believe that I was so fat at that time? Pag tinignan ko yung mga pictures ko, ano ba to? Yung braso ko kasing size ng wrist ko. But anyway, so, yung pagda-diet every year, di ba, ang daming tao na nagsusulat na magda-diet sila this year, magka-cut off sila na certain food or whatever. Hindi ako mag-sugar, hindi ako mag-rice, hindi ako mag-soft drinks, stuff like that. Pero sa akin kasi, when you write something like, I'm going to make good choices versus I'm going to go on this diet or that, I'm not going to eat this, blah, blah, blah. Ang nangyayari, nagiging parang task-based siya and nagiging focused siya on things that you're going to withhold from yourself. Diba? Hindi ako magra-rice, hindi ako mag-soft drinks, ganyan. So, nagiging parang deprivation siya. But when you frame it as, I'm going to make good choices, no matter how small, no matter how difficult, it's actually easier for me, sa experience ko ha, to actually choose water over, say, soft drinks. Nothing bad naman with that in moderation, but sa akin, ang ibig sabihin ko dito is if you write your resolution, write your plans, write your vision, write your theme of the year in this way, na hindi lang siya, okay, ito yung gusto ko. Pero meron kang, anong gagawin ko? And ano yung maliliit na bagay na pwede kong baguhin right now? Mas nagiging attainable siya. So sa akin, for example, even if I'm also concerned with my health, wala sa resolution ko ang mag-diet, pero since nasa resolution ko or nasa plano ko, for 2024 to make good choices, nangyayari na lang siya. So if you give me, say, an option, dahil ang mantra ko this year is to make good choices no matter how small, no matter how difficult, okay, tubig na lang. Mas madali siya sa akin. Mas madali siya i-let go sa akin. Kasi hindi ko dinedeprive yung sarili ko. But instead, I'm choosing to make a good choice. And I'm happy about it. I'm proud about it. So yun, just some of the things that you may want to think about in planning your 2024, or if again the resolution has already failed or you don't know where to start, something to restart your year. Kasi iiwan ko rin to sa inyo before we wrap up. I want you to understand that sa pagiging try hard natin, hindi naman siya about, okay, 2024, ito na yung gagawin ko, promise ko to sa sarili ko. Tapos nag-fail ako. Tapos ano ba yan? Palpak na ako. Sige, next year na lang ako susubok ulit. Hindi. Kaya tayo trying hard kasi we don't stop trying. So even if you wrote something already, you already failed it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks into the year, the beauty about us being tryhards is even if hindi January 1, even if hindi start ng year, even if hindi start ng semester, you could still try again. So let's keep trying this year. And if your 2024 is for you to keep trying hard, okay na tayo dyan. Okay? So yan muna for now. And as we always say sa podcast na ito, dream big, work hard, start now, and don't let those who call you a try hard keep you from actually trying hard. Subok lang tayo. I'll talk to you next time.